Hello, my friends. Happy Thursday. I am Rachel Trout, and I am here for another online card class, which I come to do every Thursday at 12 p.m. Arizona time. Today's class is going to be a lot of fun. My week has gotten crazy, and so I don't think I've even told you what products we're using this week. So it's going to be a fun surprise because this week we are using the Jolly Delivery Bundle, which is super cute and fun, and I am excited to share some cards with you using that bundle, and it's part of a suite of products that is really cute. If you would like to get a card kit for the cards that we're making today, you can do that by shopping with me now through Tuesday, and I'll send you the card kit for the 3 cards when you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping and after Stampin Rewards or any coupons that you're using. Because I know some of us got some for World Card Making Day. If you registered for that, they sent you a $5 coupon, which is always fun. I also wanted to say thank you to Shelly. She placed an order last week, and she got me my first incentive trip points for this year. So thank you, Shelly. I was super excited about that, and I am excited to craft with you again today. So don't let me forget, after we do our cards for today, I am also using the Jolly Delivery Bundle for my Christmas card club this month, and I just finished designing it this morning. So I will share those cards at the end. So if you like this bundle and suite of products, make sure that you shop this week so you can get the card kit, and then also sign up for the Christmas card club so you can make even more cards with your new bundle. The Christmas card club is $44 a month, and you are going to get supplies to make 8 Christmas cards, 2 each of 4 designs, which I will show you at the end of the video. The deadline for that is coming up on the 15th. I feel like I say this every month, but I'm behind on my designing again. So I worked and got some done yesterday, but life has been crazy. I have 2 kids in sports right now, and we had 3 game nights this week. One we had to drive all the way across Phoenix for, so that pretty much takes up our whole evening. My kids have had lots of homework this week too. Maybe you saw that funny meme I posted the other day. But my older kids especially have had a lot of homework, and I always excelled in school. I really loved math, but I do not enjoy helping them with math, because I feel like it has changed a lot since I was in school. So that has been my week, and we are about to get some rain, hopefully. There's like 2 or 3 hurricanes brewing in the Pacific by Mexico, and we're supposed to get some rain from those, which if you are also in Arizona, you know anytime it rains, it's exciting. So there's a chance we could get a large amount of rain, which is awesome. We could definitely use it, and it's about this time of year where we usually plant our winter grass, and so my husband has been working really hard. We have a huge yard, and we usually plant winter grass every year, so he's like, I need to get it seeded before it rains this weekend because that'll really help it grow and take off. So it has been busy around here. Not with stamping stuff, unfortunately, but I have cards for you today that are super cute. So let's flip the camera down and get started on those, and I'm going to show you these awesome products. So the Jolly Delivery Bundle is part of a suite of products, like I said, and there is a lot of fun stuff in here. You can see the embellishments up here. These are the deer dots. They are in Garden Green, Pool Party, Petal Pink, and Poppy Parade. Really fun colors for Christmas, but lots of other things also. Here we've got the bundle, so you can see there is lots of cute little animals in here. I am always drawn to sets that have cute little animals, so this one right away grabbed my attention. I also think there's a lot of cute little stamps in here, like the paw prints and the envelopes and the gifts. And then you've got a variety of sentiments. Some of them you can mix and match, which is fun. The other cool thing about this bundle is the dies. So I have not actually used this one yet, but if you take a look in your mini catalog or you go in the online store, you can see samples of what this little box looks like. And these pieces here will cut out the little flap that you, or the little piece that you tuck your flap into. So you can do hearts and stars and circles, and that is so much fun. And I just noticed this one now. This cuts out the little paw prints. How cute is that? I did not even know you could cut those out, and I suppose this cuts out that. See, I have made now 7 cards with this bundle, and I just now figured that out. So there is lots to do. These cut out the envelopes, and then this will cut out the gift and all of the animals too. So it's a really, really fun bundle. And then we have the designer series paper, which always is the star of the show. So this is a specialty designer series paper because it has 2 pages of die cuts. So I'm going to kind of show you here. I almost didn't bring it in here, but I was like, you guys have got to see this. And I didn't punch out envelopes for my last card. So I needed to bring it in here. So this is one of the page of die cuts. You can see I've used some of them. We've got some busy patterns in this designer series paper. So, you know, there's clever ways to use it without it being too busy. You can use this as your background, and put like, I was going to use the perennial postage dies too, and I haven't even gotten to that, but I think those are a really good pairing for this suite because of all the envelopes. On the back, you've got lots of those cute critters. Now, I think the die cuts out maybe the cat. I know it doesn't cut out a lot on this side, but I think the cat one should work. Let's test it. Yep. The cat you can cut out with the dies. I don't know if there's any dogs on this page because this one's facing the wrong way. Oh, this one though. Can you see that? Or is it too low? Okay. So this one will cut out the dog. So there's a few on this pattern. I think there's more on one of the other ones. But of course you can fussy cut. Hi Joan, thanks for being here today. I'm glad you knew where to find me even though I had no announcement of what I was doing today. All right, so this page, we're going to fussy cut one of these later. But a die will cut out this guy. I'm trying to think if there's any others on here. This might be the only one. Maybe some of these envelopes and gifts too. I bet those do also. And then the back of this one is Pool Party Polka Dots. I love Pool Party. All right, we've looked at that one. You can see I've been busy working with this paper. This one's kind of fun, a garden green pattern. This one is busy, but not as colorful as some of the others. And then how cute are these little delivery trucks with your different animals in there? I have fussy cut some of those too. This is your other page of die cuts here. So we've got lots of fun ones. This one, we've got another envelope pattern. And then the Poppy Parade, and I believe it's very vanilla, although I have just stuck with basic white on my cards. Let's see if there's any patterns. I think there's one more. I actually haven't used this one yet. I think this piece right here would be really fun for a slimline card because you could make a whole scene going across your card. And then on the back of that one, you've got all these little mailboxes and envelopes. So super, super fun designer series paper on this one. I'm going to set that to the side, but not cover up my Christmas Card Club cards, or you know I will forget to show you those at the end. All right, so we're going to make 3 cards today. If you would like to win one of the cards I make today, make sure to comment, say hello, let me know where you're from, let me know what you think about this suite of products, and I will pick 3 random winners from the comments on Monday to send the cards I make today to. All right, this is our first card, and I have been using this fold quite a bit. I used it in my card club last month, and I used it when I did some mystery stamping with my team yesterday. But I thought I would show you how to do this fold today because it's pretty simple, but it's a fun way to use your designer series paper. Okay, for this one we have a Pool Party card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to fold that in half. And I think there's lots of shadows today because it is actually, I usually do my videos right next to a window. So lots of natural sunlight, but today it's kind of cloudy and I feel like there are more shadows in here. So sorry about that. All right, then you have a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I love this design because you can really use any designer series paper and any products with this layout. Whatever paper, I did not do that very evenly. That's okay. All right, so we've got our envelopes. Now this paper is not super directional because the envelopes are facing all different directions, but I feel like there's more going this way maybe. So I think I'm gonna put it this way. Your designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 5. Oh, I can't do that yet. I tell you guys, my brain is, my brain is full. I can't even think about making a card. Before you put your adhesive on, we're gonna fold down this top corner. So what I want is I want the fold to be right in the corner of this point. And so it does not have to be exact, but you're just folding over. Now you could use this design to make like a fun pocket card. Now I've got my adhesive stuck there. So if you wanted it to be a pocket, then don't put adhesive right here. You could tuck in a bookmark, you could tuck in a gift card, all sorts of things you could put in there. But today we are just going to make it a card. We're not going to care about that pocket. So I'm going to put adhesive on all my sides. Oh, Joan says it's cloudy by her and 65. Unfortunately, it's still 90 degrees here, even though it's cloudy, but we are supposed to cool down this weekend into the 80s, so that will be nice. Okay, and then I'm just adhering that pocket here. So see, this is kind of a cool way to see both sides of the designer series paper, and it's just kind of a fun fold. And then we have a circle that I have cut with our Spotlight on Nature dies. And we're going to grab our little mailbox stamp here. And I'm going to stamp that in Memento ink right over here on the right side. And I think while I have my ink out, I'm also going to stamp my dog. Isn't he cute? He's carrying his little Christmas card to the mailbox. And then I have another piece of Pool Party, just a little strip here for my sentiment. That is 3/8 of an inch by 2.5. And I'm going to stamp it closer to the right side, and then we'll cut off that left side when we get to assembly. Okay. So now we're going to do a little bit of coloring. Now the color in the paper is Poppy Parade, and in my Christmas Card Club cards, I was using the Real Red and White Baker's Twine, and I think some of the patterns look more Real Red to me than Poppy Parade. This one looks like Poppy Parade, but anyways, I had been using Real Red, so that's what we're using today, although I probably should have grabbed my Poppy Parade Stampin' Blends because my light Real Red is about out. So I'm going to stick with dark Real Red. And the cool thing about Stampin' Blends is when you color over it again, it adds another layer of color, making it darker. So we're just going to use the dark and get a couple of shades anyways. And I kind of like how the Real Red looks, but if you want to use Poppy Parade, you can, because that's the color in the paper. And I literally was finishing designing these cards right up until I started filming the video, and I did not have time to grab my Poppy Parade markers, so we'll stick with the Real Red. I don't know, Real Red to me is like the quintessential Christmas red, although I don't mind Poppy Parade, but Real Red and, well, Garden Green or Shaded Spruce. I really like Shaded Spruce for Christmas too. I guess it just depends which paper you're working with and which stamps, but those are my two favorite greens for Christmas. Do you have a favorite green for Christmas? Oh, Joan says she wasn't going to order this, but it's so cute. Well, sorry if I am being an enabler and I forgot to add my extra layer. I'm just going to make this outside edge of the mailbox a little darker. Actually, I'm not too sorry because it is really cute and I really like this suite. And this part's mostly going to get covered up, but I'm going to make that a little bit darker too. All right, and then there's some petal pink in the paper, so I'm just going to use my dark petal pink. Because the light is very light, I do like it for some things. But I thought I would just stick with the dark here so you could see it a little better. Okay, so there is our mailbox, and now we're going to color the dog. And he is going to be Pecan Pie, which is another color in the paper. So for the most part, I just drew my colors from the paper, except for that real red because, well, I wasn't paying super close attention and I like real red. Okay, so I'm just adding a few little spots of the dark Pecan Pie here. And then we'll fill in with the light. I was trying to color one of the bears with Pecan Pie earlier, and the brush side of my light Pecan Pie is definitely about out. So, yep, I have not placed an order yet this month. I meant to with the Kits Collection sale earlier this week. And I was so busy, I never got the order placed. So I guess I'm going to have to get that new Christmas kit at full price, but that's okay. Because that was the one I wanted to order. I think it's still in stock. I haven't checked today. A few of the kits went out of stock during the sale, but... So now I have to add my Pecan Pie and my real red blends to my order because I have used them too much. Okay. So there is our dog. And then I just have my dark basic black just so I can color his nose. You could use a Stampin' Right marker too, or any black marker. It's such a little spot. Then we're going to use our dark real red again for his sweater. And same kind of thing, I'm just going to go over this collar part a few times so that it's a little bit darker than the rest of the sweater. If your light real red or Poppy Parade has not run out, then you can go ahead and use the light. But I am making do. And hopefully not going out of the lines too much. This little dog is so cute. I don't know which animal is my favorite. I haven't used the cat yet. Oh my goodness, I am going out of the lines all over the place today. The dog I like, and the bear. I think those are my two favorites. Okay, so I've added a little bit of shading by going over some of it with the dark again. And then we're going to use Pool Party for the little envelope. I'm just going to use my dark there on the flap. Now you probably don't need to do any shading on something this small, but since I have them both, we will. Okay. All right, now we're going to bring in our die cutting machine and cut out that dog. We don't have to fussy cut him, which is nice. All right. Let's see here. Let's see, when last I had a card class with you, see, it's sports season, so we got to talk about sports a little bit. Oh, that's my husband's phone. He's not working in his office today, but his phone still likes to ring. I hope it's ringing where he actually is, too, so that he can answer it. Anyways, we have to talk about sports a little bit. So my daughter, I talked about her volleyball team last week and how young they are. So they won their first game, which was awesome. They have had 2 more games since then. The second game, so they play 3 sets. The first 2 sets they lost only by 6 points. And the third set they won, but obviously they didn't win the whole thing because they, you know, best out of 3. And then yesterday, the first set, they made the other team play to 26 because you have to win by 2. It was that close. The second set they won by quite a bit, but then they lost in the third set by 4. So my husband and my daughter were, you know, frustrated and disappointed. He coaches her team, and they were like, it stinks to lose it when it's so close. And I was like, yeah, but your team is so young and you did so well. I was very excited, even though they didn't win. Today they have a game, and the team they're playing today is really hard, I am guessing. So I don't think they're going to win today, but hopefully they can hold their own, and it is really fun to watch my daughter play. She is getting very good. Okay, so I added the dog and the circle with dimensionals, and then we're going to add this. I think I must have stamped my mailbox a little higher or put my dog a little lower last time. I don't want to cut off my words, and I don't want to cut off that cute envelope. Okay, so we'll tuck this in here. I just cut this end to an angle like that. Now there is a ribbon in the suite. It is a fluffy white ribbon. It looked really thick to me, and most of the time with ribbons I like to tie bows and things like that, and that thicker ribbon is not good for that. So I thought I'm not going to buy it because I don't think I'm going to use it a lot. It's cute, but that's not how I make my cards most of the time. So today we are using this gold mesh ribbon. It is part of an online exclusive suite of products that came out this summer, I believe. But I think it is a really nice ribbon for Christmas because gold is a great color for Christmas. So we're just going to tie a bow with that and put it on the edge of our circle there. And then we will use some of our pool party dots to match our card base. But you could use any of the colors that you like. All right, so there we go. There is our first card. So I encourage you to try this fold, even if you do not get the card kit. Try it with some of your own designer series paper because I think it's really cute and fun. All right, let's tuck that away for a lucky winner and move on to our second card. This one, we are using the cute little bear, but I cut him out of the paper this time. So let's get all our pieces. Now, if you order and you get a card kit from me, this is exactly how it will come in the envelope. Everything's sorted for you with all of your pieces so you can put your card together. You supply your own stamps and ink, obviously, and then you can use whatever embellishments and ribbon you want. When I'm done, I will put a list of everything I use in the description of the video. So if you want to order the same things that I use, the gold mesh ribbon and the deer dots, you can. But you can substitute with other things too. All right, for this one we have a garden green card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then I really like this garden green piece of the designer series paper. This one measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I actually think this side would be really cute too. Those little delivery vehicles are so fun. So we're going to line this up on the left side of our card. Then I have a piece of basic white that is 3 by 3 that I embossed with our Forever Plaid embossing folder. And then a piece of Poppy Parade that is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So this time I went with the Poppy Parade because it was about this time. This was the 6th card that I made, and I was like, oh, I think it's Poppy Parade. Maybe I should use that instead of Real Red. Oh, yeah, I tell you. Okay, this piece we will add with some dimensionals. And then we're going to fussy cut our little bear here. Now, if you wanted to, you could grab another piece of cardstock and you could stamp a bear and color him and die cut him. But I thought it would be fun to use this one from the Designer Series paper. And really, you could use any of the critters that you wanted. It would not have to be the bear. If you get the card kit, I will likely send you this bear to cut out. But there are lots of options in the paper, and then in those punch-out pieces that come with the Designer Series paper too, you could choose one of those if you are ordering it yourself, because there are lots of cute options. So I'm kind of freehanding my fussy cutting, which is what I do most of the time, but a little tip if you have more trouble with fussy cutting is to use a pencil and kind of make an outline around your image so that you have something to follow. And then if you have any pencil marks left when you're done cutting out, you can just erase them. But that is a helpful way to do it if you have a little more trouble freehanding it. Now, I suppose I should tell you about my son who plays sports too. So he's in 4th grade, and it's his first year to play sports at school. And 4th graders usually don't travel to the away games with the rest of the team. So he only gets to play in a few games. He had one this week, and he only got about 30 seconds of playing time. So he was really kind of mad about that. But we're like, all right, buddy, you're in 4th grade, and it was a close game. So we told him that's okay, just keep working at it, and in the future you'll get to play more. That's how it works. But he loves all things sports, so he's excited to play all the sports this year. Okay, next we have a Poppy Parade label that I cut with the traditional labels dies, and we are going to do some heat embossing. I think the sentiments in the stamp set really pop. I did a lot of heat embossing. So I'm going to rub it with my embossing buddy so we only get that powder where we want it to stick. We're going to stamp with our Versamark ink, the Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. And then I have my white embossing powder. I just keep mine. I've tried a lot of different things, but I like the containers like this. It is easy. It's all contained. We do have a nice embossing set with a tray, and I do like that also. But what I found is then when you empty the tray, if you use different colors of embossing powder, I'll show you, they get kind of stuck in here and they mix together. So I didn't like that, but I store everything in my tray, which is really nice. It also comes, let's see, it comes with the embossing buddy and the tweezers and the brush. It does not come with this. So it is a nice little set to have. But I have discovered I like those Ziploc containers better. Okay, hang tight for a minute while we heat this. Okay, doesn't that look nice? I like the embossed look. Okay, so this is going to kind of hang off the edge here a little bit. So I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus on the top because that part, this part's already popped up with dimensionals. And I think if we just put a little edge along the bottom, that'll be about right for the rest to hang off. We're just going to put that on the corner there. Okay, we're going to tie a bow with our ribbon again. I think I'm going to have to add this to my order too because I have another, I'm working on 3 classes for a fall stamp camp, and I'm going to use this ribbon on one of them, and I feel like I'm going to run out before I'm done designing it if I don't order more. Okay, I'm just going to put that kind of at the corner of that sentiment. And then this time we'll use a few of our Poppy Parade dots. So this card is more your classic Christmas colors, the red and the green, which I love. I can't decide what I like better, if I like better the traditional colors or non-traditional colors for Christmas cards, because I really love blues and purples and pinks for Christmas cards too, which is not traditional at all, but I also love this. So here is our second card. Let's tuck that one away too for a lucky winner. And move on to our third card. So I had not used any of the Petal Pink dots, and I thought we need to make a Petal Pink card, but I think I'm going to use a different color of dots than I did, because they kind of just blend in, and I want them to pop. So let's take our pieces, assemble our card, and then we'll have to pick a different color, I think. Maybe the green ones, maybe the blue ones, I don't know. All right, for this one I have a Petal Pink card base, and we're going to use that little gift stamp and Stampin' Petal Pink just to make like a background around the edge. Hi Laura, thanks for joining us. We are on our third card, but when I am done, you can go back and watch the replay of those first two. All right, so I'm just going to start at the top and kind of stagger these, and we're going to go around the edges. They don't have to be completely even. You can space them apart as close or as far as you want. Sometimes mine ended up spaced a little closer than the rest, but that's okay. Gives it that handmade look, right? So we're just going to go all the way around the edge. Now, if you wanted to use a different stamp from the set, you could use that little like North Pole circle thing. If you wanted to use your maybe one of the animal prints in the background, you could do the paw prints. I'm trying to think if there's another little one. Oh, there's the envelopes. You could do the envelopes. So it doesn't have to be the gift, but I hadn't used the gift yet, so that was why I chose it for this card. Okay, that is enough gifts. Hopefully no one has to buy that many gifts for Christmas. Are you Christmas shopping yet? I am starting. I don't want to be doing it in December this year. I actually wrote myself a note in my planner for October, and it said that you don't want to be in the stores in December. Do your shopping now. Note to self. So I am trying. All right, we have a piece of the Designer Series paper that is 3 by 4, and then the Pool Party mat is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. This time we're going to wrap our ribbon around and tie in a bow. So I was looking, I don't know if any of you follow Rose Coleman. She's a Canadian demonstrator, and she's using this bundle this week too. So I was looking at her cards and getting inspired. Actually, the second card, she did a layout kind of similar to this. I mean, her card didn't look like mine, but that was where the inspiration for that one started from. And so I was watching a little bit of hers. So if you need to be more inspired with this suite, go check her out. Her name is Rose Coleman. Speaking of other demonstrators, so this was kind of a cool thing. When my daughter had her volleyball game on Tuesday, we went, so my kids go to a church school, and so we play the other church schools in the Phoenix area. And I have a demonstrator friend who goes to the church that we went to on Tuesday. And I've never met her in person, but we belong to like the same training group, and we've kind of gotten to know each other just a little bit online over the past few years. And last year we had like tried to meet up at some of the sporting events, but it didn't work out. But Tuesday, She came to my daughter's volleyball game and we got to meet in person for the first time, which was really cool. So that was a lot of fun. There are demonstrators all over the place. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to look at my designer series paper. I did not punch out any envelopes. So when you get the card kit this week, you're going to get just random envelopes because there's quite a few on here. And you will not get the same ones that I'm using because there's not 2 of each. So you might get these 2 or something like that. But I used a brown and a pink one on my first card. We're going to use these 2 on here. And I'm just going to add those with some dimensionals. And then we will do our sentiment. So I'm just going to kind of put those up here. All right, I have a basic white circle I cut with our Stylish Shapes dies. And this time we're going to stamp in Poppy Parade ink. And this is kind of a fun one. You could use this sentiment inside your card too, hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. So if you like to stamp inside your cards, this is a good one for that. All right. And this I'm going to add with dimensionals also. Just kind of put that in the center. Depending where you put your envelopes, it can go off to the side a little. Maybe I want it there instead. All right, now you can add the petal pink ones if you want. I felt like they kind of blended in though, so I think I'm going to choose a different one this time. Maybe we'll do the green. The pool party would match our pool party mat there, so that would look good also. But I like the green. Let's see where I put them. Maybe this isn't going to pop enough for me either. I don't know. Use whichever color you would like. Depends where you stick them too, because like that one was close to a green envelope. There we go. All right. I don't know. I don't know which one I like better. You can use any color. So that is the third card. All right. Well, let's grab our envelope and tuck that one in here. And then I will show you all 3 cards that we made today. Let me know in the comments which one you liked best. I kind of think the second one ended up being my favorite this week. But I do love this fold too. And I love Pool Party. So, I don't know. It's a hard choice. You have to choose 1, 2, or 3. All right. And remember, you can get the card kit to make these 3 cards when you place your order now through Tuesday with me and spend more than $50 before tax and shipping and after Stampin Rewards. Now, before we finish up today, my Christmas card club also uses this suite of products this month. I have not sneak peeked it yet because I just finished designing them this morning. So we'll see how much time I have this afternoon to get out the information about that. If you're on my email list, you'll get an email about it. And I will share it on social media too. But we will see how the afternoon goes, if that happens today or tomorrow. So this is the first one. And so for this, I use the Real Red and White Baker's Twine. And I don't know, this one you can tell with the Poppy Parade, but most of the patterns in the paper, I think the Real Red goes with nicely. This is the second one. I love this bear, and I did the paw prints in the corners. So see, I really liked the embossing, and I used Real Red again, but you could use Poppy Parade. I don't know. I was just thinking Real Red for all the cards I made up until the 6th one. This one uses that little dog again, like we used on our card today. And isn't this die fun? This is a new bundle too, the branching out bundle. I just got it mostly because of these dies. And then this one with the little delivery truck and those envelopes in the background. So this is the Christmas card club. So if you like this bundle, I'll put a link to subscribe. Again, it's $44 a month. That includes the shipping. You get in the Christmas card club card kits to make 2 of each of these. You get a half pack of the designer series paper. You get a whole roll of the baker's twine and a whole package of the deer dots. So if you really like this stuff and you want the card kit that for the cards we made today too, my recommendation is to get the bundle. And then if you need any of the ink colors or anything, or maybe you want that gold ribbon that we used, add that to your order. And then in your Christmas card club kit, if you also subscribe to that, you'll get the dots, you'll get the real red and white baker's twine, and you'll get a half pack of the paper. So that's kind of my recommendation if you really like it, the best way to get it all. So let me know if you have any questions. Watch tomorrow for my next video. I don't know if you saw this last week of what would I put in a starter kit. I'm doing that video every week this month. And tomorrow I'll be sharing this week. So last week we talked about using the advent calendar to add to the starter kit. That is a great option. This week I'm going to share some products you could use to make your Christmas cards. And I will have a little card design in there for you too. So make sure to come back tomorrow and check that out. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you again soon. Bye.